Images from the Hubble Space Telescope will often not be perfect squares or rectangles. While the images do include a border, the actual image with the data is usually tilted at an angle and might not have straight edges. These images can easily be cut out using the Perspective Crop tool in Photoshop CC. Whenever I am combining images from the Hubble Space Telescope, whether it's my red, green, and blue layers, or however many layers I have, I do not use the Perspective Crop tool until I have combined them from the grayscale narrowband image into the full color image. Only then will I use the Perspective Crop tool to crop the image. That is to make sure that the images are all lined up correctly before I make any changes to my final image. To use the Perspective Crop tool, go to the Crop tool icon, right-click, and under Crop tool, choose Perspective Crop tool. This will allow you to draw a grid on the image and drag the corners to where you want to crop. Then right-click and select Crop. From here, the image is still not entirely perfect. Because the image was at a slight diagonal, there is still some of that background that was left. Using the rectangular marquee tool, you can crop out these edges by dragging the rectangle to just below the black areas of the image, then going to Image and Crop. Some has still been left on the bottom here, so again, I can go to the rectangular marquee tool and starting at the top this time, drag it to just on top of that black border and crop it. Now the entire image is a perfect rectangle without the black border. In another example, I will use the Perspective Crop tool to crop a much more diagonal picture. Be aware that when you crop images that have a much steeper diagonal, that sometimes the object itself can get compressed or stretched. So if the Perspective Crop does do that to your image, just try and drag the corners a little bit more when you crop the image, and pay attention to how the object looks as you crop it. Sometimes the images do not have perfectly straight, even lines for you to crop. Unfortunately, you will be cropping out some of the data, but using the Perspective Crop tool is the best way to get what you can if you want nice, even edges. And even though there's still some of the border left here, I can use that rectangular marquee tool to cut that off. So even though I do lose a little bit of that beautiful nebulosity at the edge of the photo, the image still looks amazing, and now I do not have that black border, and I have a nice clean cut image.